Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, Episode 13. I'm your host, Tommy. I'm here as always with John.
How's it going?
Good. We had a fun week. We had a busy week.
Yeah, we did. Lots of good flesh and blood.
But before we get into the podcast, I wanted to talk about our Patreon and how you can support the channel.
Yeah.
So we have a Patreon, a couple different levels. First one gets you into our Discord, where we are talking all day about the things we put videos out about. So if you want to talk with us, what? Yeah, literally all day. There's a group of us. We all talk. It's a good time. Good group of people. Then we also have another level that gets you access to box breaks. So we have a list of products that we will do a box opening for you. So you can purchase the Patreon and take a look at what we have to offer, and yeah, should be a good time.
Yeah, reasonable prices, and supports the channel, helps us keep doing content, getting more stuff up and that sort of thing, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. But so do we want to hop right into it? Do we want to go over some pools? Do you have any spicy pools you want to talk about?
One last thing before we jump in.
Sure.
If you're listening to this, which I know many of you do because we look at the stats, and you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, hit the subscribe button. If you've listened to more than one of our things, you might as well subscribe, because we keep putting out content and we get a lot of listens, a lot of views. But, you know, our subscription numbers, it's ticking up slowly, but it's not, we definitely get a lot more views than we have subscribers. Let's put it that way, on every single video, which means it's probably a 10x kind of ratio.
I would also be amiss to say, if you have already hit the subscribe button and not hit the bell, you should also hit the bell so you get a notification every time we put out a video.
That's true too, and we appreciate you for subscribing.
And those that have, we appreciate you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's jump into it now.
Yeah, so we have a lot of things to talk about. We're going to talk about some Sorcery TCG Kickstarter stuff. We're going to talk about the new MetaZoo Wilderness release, because we are quickly approaching it. And we are going to be talking Flesh and Blood Pro Tour, the new news, the Bard.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah. So what do we want to start with? Sorcery?
Sorcery, yeah. Sorcery is the hot topic of the TCG space right now.
It's so much fun.
It's so fun. And I mean, clearly people love it or love watching it. Every one of our videos has hit massive number of views. We get a lot of interaction, including from the team at Sorcery, which I cannot say thank you enough to them, because it's great to get direct feedback from the creators about how we screwed up and broke the rules. But it really is. It's good to learn the rules from the creators instead of just speculating and whatnot. And the fact that they're interacting directly with us in our community is just awesome.
Yeah, it means a lot.
It does. It really does. But yeah, we've been playing it, having a lot of fun with it. We've played not every combo yet, right? We have a few left that we can do. Yeah, that's good. We should definitely do that at some point, because I still enjoy the game right now. And then I want to try to create our own decks. It's going to be kind of a hassle on TTS, but it can be done.
Is there any way to do like more than 2-player multiplayer on TTS?
I was messing around trying to figure it out. I couldn't figure it out, but I'm real bad at TTS, so I don't know. Maybe we can ask our buddy who's like a TTS expert if he knows a way.
He would know.
He would know if anyone knows.
Yeah.
He knows all the weird tricks and things you can do with it. So he's even uploaded like graphics into games in the past. So he really does know how to mod stuff in there and whatever. So we should find out, because
that would be really cool.
Try a 1v1v1, or even like try a 3-player if that's possible. I don't know.
Or 4-player.
Well,
right?
yeah.
Can it be 4?
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Trying to think. I have no idea how to do it. Every time I think about it, I'm like, I really just can't figure out how to do it. So, but maybe we'll get a chance to get that done. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The Kickstarter, out of control, at $1 million. It was the most backed Kickstarter in the history of TCGs.
And it said, "Hold my beer. Let's double that."
Yeah, that's right. And then keep going. It's at 2.6 million and still going up. Insane. That is crazy. There's so many people buying this product. It does make me wonder about the kind of market implications. I actually listened to, I think it was something from, it was Louis, Kitchen Table TCG. He was talking about the collectability. He made some really good points. He said, one, there's 400 cards in the set, right?
That's a lot.
it's going to be hard to get them all, right? So people that want to do full collections, full set
Full
collections,
play sets.
yeah, which I think is going to be hard just because there's so many cards, but also he makes this point that he thinks a lot of people do it because the art's so cool, and I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I don't do set collecting, and this is one I might actually want to do a set, for
Oh
the
yeah.
first time in my life. Like, this is not a thing I've ever really done. I do a play set, yeah, but I'm not like I need every single card or
Right.
I don't feel complete, right? Like, I never care about that. This is one where I'm like, maybe I do.
Yeah.
So 400 cards. So that will make the
But
market
it's
for
only
this.
one set a year. But I guess it also depends on what we end up with the print size.
Well, that's my point. Yeah, all the people that are buying multiple boxes. The key factors are, how many boxes do you really need to get close to a playset? How many times are you going to end up with duplication to the point where you have extras that you're willing to trade or sell, right?
Right.
And then that will determine what the card market looks like, right? So those are the numbers that are important. With 2.6 million in backing, there's going to be a lot of boxes out there. The question is, how many are these are like investors just going to put it on a shelf and never open it? Like, how much is liquid of this supply? I know I'm putting at least one, maybe two boxes on my shelf, and not really for speculation purposes, but just to hold on to, because I think it's an awesome product that I want to keep on my shelf and look at and say, I have this.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe it goes up, maybe it doesn't. I really don't care. I mean, I have Weaverin on my shelf. I have net deck on my shelf. Two very old games that are not worth anything. So that is the thing I will be doing, and I'm curious how many others are going to do that, because this does harken to the era of that. Those same type of card games.
I'm sure a lot of people.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then it's going to be hard. Oops, I just dropped my phone. It's going to be hard to get all the cards, right? Because there are not going to be that many on the markets, individual singles.
But I mean,
how that plays.
if you're just buying a bunch of commons and stuff, I think finding singles wouldn't be too hard.
Well, remember, there's the 4 rarities,
right?
And there's quite a few of the highest rarity from what we can tell from just the demo decks.
And we don't know rates yet, do we?
We don't. That's the thing. Like, it really depends on how it's structured. There's a lot of unknowns, so it could end up. And then on top of that, and this is the part that's the real wild card, you have the special curios that they're adding to the Kickstarters. I don't know if you've read about that.
No, tell me more.
Yeah, so one of the goals when they hit it, and I don't recall which one, was they were going to add special mystery cards that you might not even recognize as a unique card, and it may be one of one. And they're going to have a bunch of
wild.
Yeah.
But like functionality and one-on-one.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. It's a little terrifying because, like, you open a box and you're like, you might not recognize that you have this ultra rare, valuable card that no one else in the world has, or very few. Maybe there's 100. Even if it's 100, right? That's still like super rare. And they're not telling anyone what they are or who they are, like how many are in the population. We have to figure it out post-release.
Okay,
which makes me want to open my boxes, which is totally not me.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Are those secret one-offs included in the 400? Or are they like 401, 402?
So
because like Pokemon has like a set base, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so the 400's a rough number. They said in an interview that it's approximately 400. They're still finalizing.
Because cards aren't going to be numbered or anything, right?
When you mean like serialized? What do you mean numbered? Like set number?
Set number. Yeah, like this is.
Yeah.
Or is that on the card? Okay.
I don't know. Maybe not.
Because if it's not, then like we would have.
We'll never know. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. That's a good question. It's not on the current images, but that doesn't mean it won't end up on the final.
Right.
Because the alpha symbol isn't on the current, and that's going to be in the final, they said.
Right.
So that's a good question. I don't actually know. But regardless, what it means is it does a couple things for this post market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is really where I'm intrigued. One, you won't know when you open a box necessarily if you get one of these. You will get curios. That's just part of what they're adding as part of the success of the Kickstarter. The question is, are they super rare ones that you pick up, or are they going to be pretty common or whatever? We won't know until the market kind of starts developing around it. Two, because there are some that are going to be like super rare and unique, and we know that because they said that's part of the thing. They're
Right.
going to essentially make these boxes super valuable with the gamblers, premium,
Right.
because in that box there may be a one of a kind card, and you don't know until you open it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which is wild. It's pretty interesting if you ask me. So I'm excited about it. I like how they're doing it. I like their whole concept of preserving mystery and bringing mystery back. They're like, we're not going to tell you. We're not going to tell you what the cards are. You have to open it up and find out.
Yeah, that's wild.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that part.
Do we know how many cards are in a pack?
I believe it's 15. I'm pretty sure they said that.
And 36 packs a box? Or 24?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 30. Yeah, it's 30.
So you're going to get a lot of cards in a box.
It is. It is. Yeah. So, yeah, but 400 distinct cards.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. I mean, like
over 400, right? So 36. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on the rarity. Like, we just don't know the numbers. Like, we can't really speculate until we get an idea of how, like, what does it mean to be unique in a box? Are there 8 uniques in a box, or are there 1?
Right. No, what I meant,
1 and it's like a quarter of the population. You need 100 boxes to get them all, right?
Right. But what I mean is you will have a lot of commons.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
you will like
stuff,
the amount of physical cards, the count of total cards in the box is going to be large.
Yeah, and so far they've been pretty good about things, like just the way they've engineered this. So I imagine it will be a very reasonable structure, but someone has to make that decision.
Right.
Is it 1 unique a box? Is it 8? Is it every 3 packs? Is it 1 per pack? Do you get a unique?
Right.
We don't know, right? And that makes a huge difference on how hard it is to collect this thing. And again, with this art, people will be set collecting.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, very exciting, very interesting.
Do we know the card size? Is it going to be the standard size?
Yeah.
Like for sleeves and stuff?
The card. Yeah, except for the tokens.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That actually ended up becoming a little bit of a joke because the first print versions that came out, they were half and half again. Did you see that in the Kickstarter?
Yeah.
And
because they were told to be halved twice.
Yeah.
Two different steps.
Yeah. And so they did. They're like, what? That's not what we got. And so all the people that got those demo kits have the little quarter size cards.
That's funny.
And it became so funny, and people kind of like, I'm kind of into it, right? That they decided as part of the Kickstarter, they got to 1.75 million. And they said, okay, we're going to add these back in, so you'll get the quarter size cards as well as the half size cards.
That's funny.
And they're actually doing new art for them too. That was another later upgrade.
That's funny.
Which is pretty cool. So yeah, pretty fun stuff. Very excited. 2.5 million. They're doing full art burn. The engulfing flame one. You know that card that you played?
Yeah.
And then the amoeba.
That card is. Those cards are cool. Yeah,
they are. They're very interesting, like mechanic cards. So having a full art of them, like wandering around your board, is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's exciting. I'm super stoked for it. Yeah. What do you think about rules, gameplay? Did you see some of our comments?
Yeah, most of them, I think.
We had a few that were interesting.
The splash damage one?
Yeah. That was pretty. That was a mistake on our part. No big deal, but the splash damage does not hit sights, even if there's no defender.
Yeah.
And splash I knew, but it was the AoE I wasn't sure, because that was the part.
Right.
Like I knew splash because splash explicitly says it hits multiple minions on a site, but I wasn't sure about the AoE if that actually hits sites. It does not. So it's only counting against the life of the avatar if your avatar's in that AoE, which I think I was in it and you were in it, and then I didn't take the damage. And I think I screwed that up based on some other cards that say the caster doesn't take damage with the AoE. Like it's set up so you cannot get hit. So I just assumed that was a rule. That was a mistake.
Right.
But yeah, a couple of effects here and there. But it's really cool that Sorcerer reached out and they're like, this is how this works.
Oh yeah. No, I'm glad people are, so that we can get better at the game. Because we've only played a couple of games.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 now.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah, we only played like 2, 3 off stream. So
was it that many off stream?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because there was like one night where we just dove into it.
Oh, that's right. And we did it.
And
we did the same deck twice. That's why
Right.
I'm thinking of it as one, because we wanted to like try to get good at the decks. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. The
Really
world
looking
loves this
forward to it.
game.
Yeah, so and it's September, right? They're aiming for.
That's what they're trying for, and they'll probably get close to it, if not, there, depending, obviously world events being
Right.
a wild card, but
Sure.
they know what they're doing, and they already have their printers lined up and stuff from what
Great.
they've been saying. Like they did, I was Red Zone Rogue did a giveaway of the original promo packs.
Oh, awesome.
And they had one of the guys from Sorcery on there answering questions.
That's
and
sweet.
that's part of what he went. He's like, we're gonna try for September. We have a lot of stuff in like lined up and ready to go, and they're very professional about it. They know what they're doing. It's just world events. They're like,
Oh yeah.
please
yeah.
bear with us if we missed a target, but we should be able to hit it based on everything we know
Cool.
today. So yeah.
Well, that's good to know. That's exciting.
Yeah. I think this is a good one, and I mean, I'll tell you, Rudy backing it, Team Covenant backing it. That shows that it's being well run, because they're both very professional about what they support.
Right.
And they just support things that they're like, oh, this is a real game with real people running it that know what they're doing, have industry, contacts, and are able to pull this stuff off, because they know how complex it is. And like they both said, it's like, I talk to hundreds of games a year and I say no to all of them,
Right.
except for these 2 that I just launched this last year, so yep, pretty cool if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited. I also like just the fun, casual gameplay of it.
Right. Yeah. It's niche, but I am really drawn to it. It's been a nice palate cleanser.
Yeah, palate cleanser is a perfect example, or a perfect word or description for it. It's because Fab is a lot of tense thought, and then you get this where you can just kind of relax and smash your friends with a Kraken.
And I thought we were gonna have a longer break from that, but nope.
Yeah.
So if we want to talk about that,
let's transition into Fab. Goodness gracious,
Pro Tour
Quest 2 is coming up.
Yeah.
I did not think we'd see this for like 6 months.
And then Skirmish is right between.
Now,
yeah,
today,
it's now. Yeah.
Today was the first skirmish. Well, this weekend was the first skirmish weekend. And I think we get 4 or 6 weeks of that, and then it's going to be right into Pro Quest 2.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy how, or I guess it's Pro Tour then Pro Quest 2. Yeah.
What if it's just that's what they're doing? It's just there's always going to be something going
on. Based on this, I kind of suspect that's the plan, and I'm here for it. And now that I was surprised by it, but
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, taking a breath, thought about it. I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of awesome, because what it ends up creating is like an entertainment industry around like a year-long sport, right? Like we have our favorites, like, we have the U.S. national champion that we're all rooting for in USA, and, people in other countries. And it's going to be this like continual cycle of real hardcore, competition. And frankly, if the best of the best continues to be the best throughout the year, or, wins 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 or whatever, this becomes something you can do for a living, which was something a lot of the pro players were really asking for. So they're providing it. Like, that's pretty cool if you ask me.
Well, there are a lot of people that did that with Magic that can't now.
Exactly. They really are filling that gap in a way that I think is just like phenomenal. It's going to be fun as a spectator to watch how this evolves, and the new player came in and climbed the ladder, did the work, and got there, finally won his national, and now he's in Pro Tour, blah blah blah. Like I love that stuff. I think it's going to be awesome to see how it changes. And then like I was watching Pro Tour, and several of the people I watch, Brendan from Arsenal Pass and Tarak Patel was both at Indianapolis. Either of them made top 8, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
I was so disappointed.
Competition's out there.
Well, I only heard Brendan talk about it on his podcast, but basically he said it was some of the best Flesh and Blood he's ever played.
That's
awesome.
It was
more competitive than he's ever seen. Like usually he has a game or two where he's like, it's a break because they're not playing optimally, and he can identify it really quickly. And he's like, nah, I didn't have a game like that. And it was great. He felt good about it, even though he didn't top 8. He was clearly jazzed about how cool it was to play at this level, which is awesome. Like, that's great. So I'm excited to see how that evolves. And it looks like it is, evolving that way quite rapidly, which is awesome. Hopefully COVID doesn't come and cause problems. I will feel so sad if Pro Tour 2 gets canceled for Europe. Because they've had 6 events canceled.
Yeah, I know.
There.
I know.
I mean, they're trying to launch the ELO thing, but the European players haven't had enough legal games to get their points in. And it's like, this thing's got to launch at some point, and everyone in Europe is just going to be at a handicap right off the bat.
Right.
Which will suck. Like, I really hope this progresses nicely and we can get this stuff off. So speaking of that, only 7 people bought their way into the Pro Tour.
Not as many.
Not that many. So everyone's concern about it ended up being not that big of a concern. I imagine they were team members of the people that can't go.
Right.
It's only 7 out of 455.
Yeah.
You kind of figure some percentage is just like, we've all worked really hard on getting good, and I can't. My wife is pregnant, or
right.
Things like
sure, that happens.
So you go instead, and da 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 da.
Right.
So not that many, and they are also getting rid of that.
Yeah. So that will not be available for the second ProQuest.
That's correct.
So for France, just New Jersey.
Yep, you will not be.
Which I understand, because it's the first one. They want as many people there as possible.
Yeah, and they're trying to. I think everyone's speculating that they're going to switch to ELO by then.
Yeah, that would be
because
nice.
The European ProQuest they'll have 2 ProQuest seasons under their belt at that point, so they should have enough. The European players should have enough to be in the running.
Would they use that ELO only for like top competitors, or do you think they would use that for locals as well? Like when pairing people in the gem system, like at a draft or.
That's a good question. I actually haven't heard one way or the other on that.
I think it would be really smart.
Good question. Yeah, because then you would have much better games at the local level. Because I know when I sit down in certain matches, I'm going to lose. It doesn't matter. I'm just like, I'm going to lose. You're going to crush my face.
Yeah, sure.
And there's somewhere I'm like, I can't wait to play that person because we're very close skill level, so it's a lot of fun.
And I know what deck that person's playing, and it'll be a fun matchup.
Yeah, it's like it's a good match. Like, we continue to try to one up each other.
Right.
I would like that. I don't know if that's the plan. As far as I've heard,
why wouldn't you? Like, if you have that data.
Maybe it's hard to calculate down at that level with that many. Like, you have to have a lot of games under your belt before you can get an ELO
But
score.
I mean, like in Hearthstone and stuff, they can do that with your rank, with like bronze and.
But how many games do you get under your belt?
You start
in person. That's the difference,
right? Sure.
You play probably 100 games of Hearthstone, and the amount of time you play 3. At Armories.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big difference in data, and I know there is a lower threshold for that, but it doesn't mean it can't happen over time. Like, you just unranked until you get to your first 50 games or whatever,
and they rank
as below.
Yeah, and then they try and match up unranked people with unranked people.
Yeah,
if they can.
I mean, you could do it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the limitations of that system, but that would be pretty cool. I would like that.
Mm-hmm.
As of now, though, I know it's Pro Tour, or it's Pro Events only as of right now, because it's not even launched there yet, right? Like, it's going to go there first.
Sure.
Because if you can actually look up on Fab TCG your ELO rating.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in there. I just don't know if there's a limitation on it in smaller format. So, pretty neat, though. I do like that. I think it's going to be cool. What else is happening? Pro Tour 2. Pro Tour 1 tickets are out, so go buy your ticket if you're going. I imagine most of you that already know this.
In the last 90 days, I'm ranked in the top 3,000.
Yeah, I think I am too.
Hey.
I don't think that's that hard.
Lifetime, I'm in top rank 6,000.
Nice. That's really good. I guess. Actually, I don't know. How many are there on the leaderboards?
I don't know.
It may or may not be good. I don't know. Let's see. Just skim it real quick. But while it's loading, the event tickets are out.
Yeah, so talk to me. What are the different options here? I haven't looked yet.
Yeah, it's confusing, and I had a hard time deciding. Finally, just decided. I actually asked.
Limited sounds good.
That's what I'm going to do. So here's the thing: you can get a package that lets you do the calling. You can pay or I don't even think you have to pay, but you have to register if you're doing the pro tour, right? But you have to be invited to that one.
Right.
Calling, anyone can come into. You can get one that's just the calling. It's like $50. You can get one that's the calling, and then vouchers for multiple side events, i.e., you're probably going to scrub out day one and you want to do stuff for day two, right?
Sure.
So you get that package. That's $100. It seems reasonable. I think it can be used for constructed or limited, so you're kind of some flexibility there. But it's with the calling ticket. Or you can do a limited package, which is like 2 double prize limited events, which takes place of your calling event, and then 3 or 2 limited vouchers that aren't double prize. So it's kind of like you just replace the calling with 2 other side events, right? And then they do the same thing with constructed. The problem is there's no mixed package. There's no one that says, 1 or 2 constructed, 3 limited, or vice versa.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Either or.
I was like, can you trade with your friend? Like, if you get constructed, can we swap the vouchers? And so we can play a little constructed, a little limited, and not the calling? Because there's no option for that right now. So I just signed up for the limited. So I have the 5 vouchers. I'll probably get burned out after, half the day, and then just go hang out at the vendors and stuff.
Right.
Because that's very much the way I do things. Or maybe just do something, with some of our crew that's not playing or whatever,
Yeah.
We'll see. But a lot of us will be there. It'll be fun. Good time. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's like $99 for all of them except for the calling only ticket, which is $50.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and you get a bunch of stuff. Oh, speaking of stuff, the Bard.
Hype.
Yeah.
Double-sided. Yeah. Cold foil double-sided, right? Like the Starvo?
Yeah, it's just like Starvo. It's a Bard. Everyone's been calling for the Bard for so long. Boy, is it a meme, though.
Oh,
My God.
It's a joke.
I am not a fan, personally. I feel like this is just
It's just one of those things, like, if you bring it, people have to know you're bringing it. Like, I don't.
So someone said they don't think it's going to be legal in anything.
Besides Ultimate Pit Fight?
Yeah, maybe. And maybe
that'd be really fun at Ultimate Pit Fight.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, so the ability.
It's just you're at a disadvantage. Okay, go ahead. Explain the ability.
At the start of the game, all heroes shuffle their starting decks together. All heroes share the same deck and graveyard this game. What?
Yep.
That's a good way to lose really expensive cards.
Yep.
It's a good way to get someone damaging your cards.
Yep.
It's a good way to mix up people that use the same sleeves. We use the same sleeves, so it'd be really hard for us to do that between you and I. There's just so many potential flaws with this, and not to mention, like, that's going to piss off your opponent immediately. And you're at a disadvantage because you're a Bard, so you can't use their cards unless they have generics in there.
Oh, wait.
And your deck's going to be all generics.
So you can use... So what, you're just drawing dead cards?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Really?
There's nothing on here that says Bard can play other classes.
But...
You can't play
But they're in your deck. But the cards are in your deck.
Oh, you think the limitation is only in the deck building component?
Yep. I think you can totally play their cards. It better be, otherwise.
But so maybe, but then think about Shiana.
Right. She's a shapeshifter.
She has to declare her class at the beginning of her turn.
Right.
So why would she have to declare it if she already has the cards in her deck? See what I'm saying?
Right.
So she shouldn't have to declare it based on the logic you just said. I don't think they can play the other stuff. I could be wrong. You might be right.
I think I'm right.
And Shiana's a little tricky because it's something about like the specializations and stuff. She can play any of them. Right. I don't know how that actually works. So that would be interesting. If you're right and they can play the other classes, then that'd be at least be a weird, interesting game. It'd be a game, right? Like, but otherwise it's not a game. No. Which, again, some people are like, this is a joke. Like, it's a collectible. It's a joke. It's like the Rudy card. It's not meant to ever actually be played, right? Yeah. Which is fine and kind of okay in art school. So I definitely won't.
I think people that have been looking forward to Bard will be very disappointed.
I mean, just looking at that power, they should be disappointed. It's not at all what most people imagined for Bard.
No, it's not what I imagined. I was hopeful. I thought it'd be
Yeah,
something cooler.
and who knows? Maybe they will have a better one. Yorick,
The first
I don't
bard.
know, adventurer of.
But what if the bard is just every time a new bard comes out, it's just another meme?
Like merchant?
Yeah. No. Okay, that's different.
So
What you
far.
need? Oh, sure. Yeah, it's a meme, but it's like it's playable.
Yeah.
It makes a much more interesting game, and you get to play with your own cards opposed to mixing everyone's cards.
And to be fair,
And you have a hero ability. You're not just
it
playing without a
is.
hero ability.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it evolves. I hope it evolves. I hope there's more bards. But and again, like if you do get to play other people's cards, no matter the class, that does make it a lot better than how I read it. I was like, they can't play any of the cards. They just basically give generics to the other person, to their opponent,
Right.
and then can only play half the deck while they can play the whole deck.
That can't be. Yeah.
I was like, that seems really horrible.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that's what it ends up being. Let's see what else. Guess that was about it. Skirmish season has started. Underway for a while. Oh yeah, the new setting. What do you think?
I mean, I'm with you. I think wizards would be cool, but
think
I also
Valkor would be cool. Yeah,
I kind of want Wildlands.
I'll be honest. That's what I'm hoping for too. That is my highest hope.
I mean, you got to play Brute last night.
Yeah, that was horrible. But that was also in
Sealed Ultimate Pit Fight.
Yeah, and Sealed is literally my worst format. I hate Sealed. I am so bad at Sealed, always, in every game. In Magic, I was just as bad. I don't know why.
You got 2 mythics, though.
I know. That's why I went Brute, because I got the mythics.
Yeah.
They did not help. I only got to swing with 1.
I got nothing.
Yeah. Well, you have all the cards now, so.
True. Fair enough.
There were your cards.
It was fun.
Yeah,
just to fill everyone in, we played... we introduced a new player to the game and played Welcome to Wraith Sealed Ultimate Pit Fight. It was kind of fun. It was a good time. It's not balanced at all.
No. And so it's a great intro because they get to see multiple turns,
multiple heroes,
what they're doing. Yeah, how the heroes work kind of gets exposed to them. So it's a great intro way of doing it. I don't think it was casual. Ever be taken seriously.
No.
Yeah.
It was fun.
But yes, it was good. It was fun. It may be easier to teach with just constructed, pre-constructed Ultimate Pit Fight decks.
Right.
But whatever. They got to look at the cards.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Learn the chain.
Yeah, exactly. And we both lost, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we were taking it too seriously.
No. It was fun. But yeah, I think...
I don't know.
But, I mean, we're going to get both eventually.
It's true. Wildlands.
I feel like... Okay, so hear me out. Wildlands next, right? And then Valkor is the supplemental set at the end of the year because Wizards. And Wizards and Blitz.
Technically possible, although the supplemental sets so far haven't had a setting. I guess Everfest technically is a setting.
Crucible War is a setting.
Where's Crucible War take place?
In the pits.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, okay, maybe then, yeah. And then have all sorts of the classes there. It could be. Yeah, that might be. Yeah, maybe you're right. So the one hint that we have to go on that I'm aware of is James White said the class that has been part of the design process since the beginning is going to finally be introduced. Not the class, the hero.
And we find that out at Pro Tour.
We will find out at Pro Tour, so that will give us a lot of information. Now, will that define? Is it just a throw-in, kind of like Icelander seems like she's a little out of character, even though she is Arya. She seems a little out of character compared to the other.
I wonder if there was an adult version of Icelander, and she was supposed to be the 4th hero in Tales of Arya.
Maybe, because she is elemental. That kind of makes sense.
And she has the border, and they didn't like the balance, yeah.
That's possible. Yeah, she wouldn't have really worked then either.
No.
Because the blue Emeritus, that blue wizard card that came out in Everfest, that's like pretty key to her functioning.
Right.
Same with the.
But maybe that was part of Arya too.
What's that?
Those could have been part of Arya too.
Yeah, that's true. We don't know how they move cards around between sets, so yeah, that's possible that they had it all bunched together and then they're like, meh, and moved them out. Yeah, interesting. Well, no, because they would have had too many cards, right? Because they don't have any wizard cards in.
Right, exactly.
Card. So it would have been, so they had to cut somewhere, or maybe they felt like everyone was underpowered, so they're like, cut one and then give more cards to everyone. Mm-hmm. That would have been late. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious how the sausage is made around that, right?
Yeah.
Because they clearly have themes that are long running. I mean, some of the cards from the first set are finally finding their voice now that Everfest is out 6 sets later. Crazy. Right. So they clearly have like a mindset of how things fit together over long periods of time. So you're right. They may be able to chunk them back and forth as they need, since they seem to have that mindset. Huh.
Right.
I would be curious.
We shall see.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's Valkor because I'm playing Wizard a lot now. But I do like the idea of Brute getting love. And then if we think about like what we're missing, we still need another illusionist.
Yeah, we do.
I don't know if we'd have. Would you think a generic illusionist was part of the original design? That may be the one.
Could be.
It could be. You're right. It's possible, and that may fit with Valkor too because illusionists are magic-y types in a non-elemental, non-talented illusionist. Might not be in Soul. Would be.
And it keeps us safe if Prism hits Living Legend,
which is also a factor that needs to be considered because that's happening soon.
Mm-hmm.
That would be weird if we don't have an illusionist at all.
Right.
Maybe it is Valkor, and that's kind of the key is that there'll be an illusionist like Amira or one of the ones we've looked at. That one that's well, actually, no, it could be Savage Lands too with the illusionist because the art that they're featuring, the cold foils for was it the Armory this month or what?
Yeah,
what
it's all
or Skirmish. Was it Skirmish?
Yeah.
That illusionist is different than the Mirror, the white.
Right.
The white-haired one that does the glass and mirrors and stuff. There's the one that does the mirage and like the weird reality stuff.
That seems like it would fit.
It would fit Wildlands, or Savage Lands, sorry, because she's got the like an African style to her, like a shaman or something, which would be kind of cool actually if they introduced more
way
cards
different and then make
that
it
theme. Yeah.
Very that different than light.
Yeah,
differentiate illusionist away from light necessarily being associated with.
Yeah, but could still use the cards from Monarch because there are some that are non-light.
Right.
That are not used that much, like Phantasmify and stuff. Ooh, that could be really cool. That would be really neat, and it would add a whole different flavor to Illusionist. This shaman, like mind warping Illusionist.
I might actually play it then.
Yeah, that would be wild. Not at all what I was expecting, but that would be wild. I want a mirror. I like.
Watch you just get all excited about the new wizard stuff, and then you just play the Illusionist.
That would be so neat. That would
It's like, oh, I just want more wizard stuff. Ooh, what's that?
Ooh. Illusionist now. Dang it. I just got good at wizard. I just got all my cards for it.
Shiny.
Yeah, that's definitely what's going to happen. Yep, that's definitely what's going to happen. Well, that would be interesting. We'll have to find out. Well, we'll find out soon. Was it May?
End of May? Middle May?
Middle May?
May 14th?
14th.
I don't know if that's the start of Pro Tour. I don't know if they'll announce on the first day.
I don't know. I haven't seen the schedule. I know there's like a dinner where they're going to like do some presentation stuff for all the players.
Oh, that's
Something
cool.
like that. Yeah, I think that it may just only be the pros though.
Okay.
That may be only the invited pros.
We should be able to watch it online then.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to. I mean, he said he was announcing it. Everyone there is going to get something, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. But it's whether we get to watch and hear in person the announcements, I guess.
Yeah.
Or if they had like an opening ceremony kind of a thing, that'd be cool.
There's definitely several like formalized things. Like when you start, you have a mandatory meeting for the calling and the Pro Tour that you have to be at or you're disqualified. So, and it's probably like, here's the rules. This is a level 2 tournament. It means we play by professional level, do this and this and this. If you're on camera, do this and,
right.
Turn in your deck list right now, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff is it seems pretty formalized. I'm excited to go see how it all feels and looks. And I mean, if our shop is any indication, there's going to be a lot of people here because I think
Oh
this
yeah,
game has grown since Everfest, despite
for
what
sure.
some people think that are from the earlier days. I think it's just a different crowd is coming
I
in
mean, I
now
think
and getting
Monarch
into
brought
it.
in a big group. I think Tales of Aria brought in an even bigger group.
Yeah,
And then I don't think Everfest has brought in as large a group as Tales did, but just in the addition to.
I think the hype around what has happened with the pro stuff
Yeah,
is what's
yeah.
bringing people in now because they're seeing it and it's quality streams. Like Indianapolis was amazing. They did a great job on the coverage there.
Yeah.
So, although that was done by Star City Games, and this is Channel Fireball, Pro Tour's Channel Fireball.
You mean Card Shop Live?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little worried that the production quality is going to go
Wait,
down.
Card Shop Live is doing Pro Tour?
Yeah,
Oh my god,
yeah.
that's
That's
sad.
where you buy the tickets. It
Dang
is sad.
it!
I don't know. I think it was probably a
I
contract,
didn't know that.
like a long-term contract
Okay.
they had. And so it's like they've been organizing it for a year probably, right? Since before all this stuff happened.
Oh no.
Because they did say Star City Game has the contract going forward. Maybe they get France.
No.
I know. I was like, and their coverage has been pretty spotty. So hopefully they bring it because it's a big deal. I want Pro Tour to look good and be something people can look at and reference and watch the videos, you know. And Star City Games just took it to a new level, in my opinion. Watching it online was a joy and fun and actually exciting.
Yeah, and that would be a huge step back if we just went back.
Yeah, I agree. But we shall see. Either way, I'm going to be there. Hopefully a lot of you guys are going to be there, and we'll enjoy it in person.
We need TTP t-shirts so people can see us.
You can go right ahead with that. I'm sure there'll be several people that'd be willing to wear them.
If you're willing to wear a TTP t-shirt, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll find a website, and then we can get TTP t-shirts made.
Bad enough that he wears it because Tom's been trying to get me to wear a TTP t-shirt forever, and I've said no from the very beginning.
We have a friend. I can reach out to him and be like, "Hey, you have a screen press.
You're gonna have them handmade, like 2 or 3 of them.
Because what? There's only gonna be like at max 2-3 people wanting to wear them.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
That's fair. We're not cool enough for t-shirts yet.
No. There are websites where like you don't have to be cool enough for t-shirts, and you can just be like, "Hey, if someone pays,
yeah, it's doable. It's definitely doable. We got them for my one company, so
yeah.
So MetaZoo.
Yeah, hype. Wilderness.
Yeah.
End of the month.
Yep.
On the 31st.
There's pre-orders going out.
It'll probably be delayed.
Is that true?
No, like as in it'll have a release day, but I feel like it actually hitting stores on that day. I don't know.
Oh,
hopefully.
Okay. I mean, I'm seeing like all the stuff is up, pre-orders, etc. Louis had a box in his hands.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, so I mean, he has them, so I'm sure he'll get them out on time. But I don't know, like he's also like friends with Mike, like pretty close. Well, I don't know if they're close friends, but they talk and
right.
Rudy's kit was yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sold very slowly. I was a little
but he also sold. It was
that.
The most. What do you say? The most new people ordering it.
Oh, interesting.
30% of the people who ordered it was the first time ordering MetaZoo from
him. Interesting. Wonder why it took so long to sell. I mean, he said he only had 2,000, which is the same kind of run he's always got. I guess people weren't buying like 10.
Yeah, maybe people are just buying less of it.
That's fair.
Or
That's
fatigue,
fair.
or board fatigue.
I didn't buy the kit. You bought it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't buy the last kit either, though. I'm just because I got the NFT. I'm just using
I need to build my Rudy deck eventually.
Yeah.
Once all 69 of them are out.
I gotta do my NFT purchase. Got my discount. Got to get my money back on that. Goddamn thing. It cost a fortune. I don't know if it's actually gone up. It was up last time I looked, but it's been a while, and I know things are cooled off a little bit in that market.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I think it's just
about the same price. Yeah.
It's cooling off, but it's becoming rationalized, which I think is good and like healthy. Yeah. It's healthy for the game. And now people will actually buy these cards and play these cards and play the game and find out that the game's really fun.
It is. It is.
However,
really fun.
However, you may think you know how to play the game. I may think I know how to play the game. But if you want to pass the judge test, good luck.
Yeah, apparently people are scrubbing out on it, and they're having a hard time getting enough judges.
I'm interested. I think I might try it. I just want to see what kind of grade I would get. Like, is it like, do I get an A? Do I get a B? Do I get a D?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. It's interesting, man. If you've tried, leave a comment because we're curious how that actually works. Apparently, it's very hard. A lot of people scrub out.
Do I know enough to be a metazoologist?
I don't know. Like, I feel like what's hard is how complex all the card interactions are, right?
Yeah, as long as they don't include the new symbols, I think I'll be okay.
Nah, I bet it's like any of the other TCGs where it's like actual rule questions, right?
Good.
But that's not the easiest thing in the world, man.
No, I know. I'm not saying I would pass it. I'm not saying that. I want to know if I would get a passing grade, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think I would ace it, but
yeah, I don't know how that works. I have to find out. But like, yeah, they have a big event coming up.
Yeah, $101,000. Right? Is it 101?
No. I think that's first place gets 101,000. Yeah. So the whole event's $250,000, 250,000. So, and there's a lot of prizes, like a lot of
Kickstarter box.
Was it like 32nd place gets like $1,000?
Yeah,
something like that. Like,
prize it down to the 32nd.
Yeah, which is great. Like, it makes you feel really good. So, and I imagine this will probably be the smallest of all of these events because it's probably just going to get bigger from here, right?
Yeah, I mean, Mike's putting his money where his mouth is, and is saying, "Hey, I do want this game to have a competitive."
I mean, if there's like
side.
I don't know. If there's 300 people, you can be in the top 10%, which I feel like I could probably get to the top 10%.
Right.
And if there's not even 300 people, it's even easier. Or like, there's even higher ratio.
I think there might be more than 300 people.
You do? Like, what has their other tournaments been look like? I haven't watched closely, so I don't know the numbers. Like,
I don't know the numbers. But what I'm saying is, with that kind of money up, there will be those people.
That's true. Just chasing the money.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose. But the problem with it is,
it drew you in.
It did.
Yeah.
But the issue is, you need to qualify for that. You have to play at a sanctioned event.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, you have to play at a sanctioned event at a store, which I don't know exactly how you sign up for that, but from what it sounds like, you need a official judge. And right now, there's no way to get an official judge.
Correct.
So there's a lot of like logistics going into this. When is that event? Do you know the date of that?
I do not have
they announced it. They may not even have it like formalized yet, honestly. I know they just announced it, but I don't know if they're like, this is where and when and all that stuff yet.
Right.
So, interesting stuff. Very exciting. Hopefully it does well.
That'll be interesting to see if that changes the market at all. If that pulls in new players, then new players need to open new boxes.
Yeah. I mean, it will. Oh my God.
What?
It's May 28th and 29th at Dallas Collecticon.
Oh.
That is really soon.
And that's going to be a lot of people.
How in the world are they... If shops can't get judges right now, how are they going to have enough events before then?
Good question.
I hope they get that all sorted out. I didn't realize it was so soon. Well, that's fun. I mean, hopefully it all works out. Maybe they'll just make it like walk-in instead of qualifying. Let's see. I'm just looking through the website now. They have a lot of events.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, they have their whole online event locator.
No, I mean for this. Oh, yeah, this is the Play Network. Yeah, you're right.
Do you have a Play Network account yet?
I don't. No.
Make one.
I haven't looked at any of this stuff.
Oh, man.
That's pretty cool. All right. That's exciting. They're getting it together. It's clear. That's cool. That's cool. This will be fun to watch. I'm into Wilderness just because the change in the meta and I like meta changes generally speaking.
And the dragons.
Yeah, they got cool cards. The art's looking really good.
Loveland hate.
Mostly, well, I'm not a fan of that.
He's got to play that anti-potion potion.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. There's some good cards. Um,
I'm really looking forward to cracking it and playing some games.
Can't hate Loveland. It's Loveland.
But they also gave Water a bunch of cards too.
They did, but I think they smacked crap out of them.
Sure, yeah.
Which is fine. I think they're going to ban stuff eventually.
Yeah. All games.
They've never mentioned anything like a standard set rotation, have they?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so until that
might be something down the road though. But the next set, the next set UFO is still supposed to have those code cards in them.
That's
for the digital client. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I wonder when that's coming out, because I haven't heard word on that recently. I know it was supposed to be like aggressively quick.
Yeah, with it being tied to UFO, I bet that is in the marketing campaign for hyping up UFO.
I forget what date they said, but when you told me that date, I was like, that's never going to happen. I was like, that is pipe dream.
UFO's the next set.
No, not UFO, the video game. You told me a date at one point when you had heard it, and I was like, no way in hell is that hitting.
What, like the digital client?
Yeah, because the development time on things is
sure.
I was like, maybe it's a collection tracker, but there's no way it's an actual game.
Yeah, maybe it starts as a collection tracker and then it keeps your collection for when the game launches.
Yeah, and that might be. Yeah, that would be actually a reasonable first version. We'll see. I guess we'll see. But
I wonder if you can sell and trade on this client.
I don't know. That would be probably a mistake to do that.
What about trading?
I mean, maybe. So if it's all in the digital, like you're talking about like a secondary internal digital economy. Yeah, that would be cool.
Like you can't pull money out of it. But like I can buy 20 crystals, $20 worth of crystals, and then trade you these crystals for that card.
And then like sell cards for crystals.
Yeah, and then you can use those crystals to buy more packs or whatever.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I'm for a more real economy than like Arena, because
Arena's a joke. Although
Arena's changed, or they're changing it. I just heard they're doing something so you can buy wild cards.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, so you can get like any of the cards you want instead of having to open a bazillion packs of all the cards you already have. But it's crazy expensive,
I heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's still magic.
Yeah.
It's still Hasbro. Like, you're not gonna get away with that from that. But yeah,
that's a shame.
Speaking of, we actually should at least mention a few things about that whole Hasbro thing.
Yeah, so we are dipping we didn't want to talk about it in depth yet. It may be next week's podcast topic. We'll see. You should talk on this more than me. I listened to I've dug into it a little bit, but not as much as you.
Yeah, so basically, and if you're paying attention to TCG space, you've probably already heard of this, because both May the Zuby with you covered it, Rudy's Patreon mentioned it in a mysterious way, like he likes to do, and it has been mentioned in the past. But there's a small group, I believe it's Alta Fox Capital, that is attempting to persuade the board or persuade the shareholders to separate Wizards of the Coast from Hasbro, because the stock is being valued inappropriately. And they make some really, really good points as to why, which is what we'll dig into in later episodes. But essentially, WotC is the cash cow. Hasbro buys a bunch of stuff they shouldn't, and sinks money into things that don't make any money, and it's just draining the value of the stock, which shareholders have a right to be upset about. The key evidence, as was explained, and if you read this paper, it's like 100-page SharePoint, or not SharePoint, 100-page PowerPoint. So it's pretty late, but it's very technical. But essentially what happened was the stock price dropped 7% because of bad information about, I guess, some toy or something. I forget. I'll
Frozen
have to look at
toys.
It again. Oh, Frozen. That's what it was, because Disney took Frozen from Hasbro. And so when that happened, the stock dipped by 7%. But realistically, that has zero impact on their earnings because they weren't making any money on that anyways. So
Right.
why is the shareholder being punished for something that's irrelevant to the bottom line of the company? Because perception and stupid investors make stupid decisions based on perception instead of actual data.
Checks out.
This group, yeah, it was just totally normal. This group is saying we need to split the stock because it's not being valued properly. If it was valued properly, we'd basically double the value of WotC independent stock pretty much immediately because the returns and the multiples and et cetera are all really high. Now, they're also selling some fairy dust here, which is exactly what you do if you're trying to pull one of these kind of moves. They're selling into the hype, into the rise. And over, as everyone knows, TCGs went nuts over COVID and with the stimulus and all that stuff.
Right.
And so they're selling into this J curve is what we call it in the industry. Essentially, it's a exponential increase in revenues, right? It looks like it's just going to go straight up forever, right? So they're saying, do it now, and then it will elevate even more, which it may elevate some, but the reality is this is exactly how you sell a company. When you go in VC, you sell a startup when it has that J curve because people imagine it continuing up forever and it doesn't.
Right.
It plateaus. And you want to sell into that hype because you'll get a higher multiple on your sale. This is essentially doing a slightly different thing and exiting into the market on the hype, which the market is then paying the shareholders, right? That increase in price. So it's essentially doing the same thing. I don't know if it's totally valid. I want to dig into it deeper, and that's where I think there's some fairy dust, but there's some really, really cool data in there about the industry. And remember how long ago we were talking about Pokemon versus Magic as far as TCG, not the Empire, but just the TCG side.
Oh yeah, how massive Pokemon is?
It's not.
What?
It's not. I told you Magic was bigger on the TCG side.
Oh no, I misheard you. I thought you said the IP side.
No. The card side itself.
Yeah, card side Magic is
Magic is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And they actually look at Pokemon as a sales funnel for
them. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like the kids will play Pokemon and then they will grow up and play Magic.
Yeah. Which anyways, so highly recommend Louie's Kitchen Table TCG, the May the Zoo Be With You episode from this week. George goes into a lot of detail on it. They didn't get very deep on it. They were, doing what they do, joking around and stuff. I want to do some real deep analysis because this is literally the type of stuff we do for a living, or I do for a living. So I almost sent it to my analyst just to look at it, and I was like, wait, that's inappropriate.
I'm gonna do it myself.
I him to because he's very good, and he'd probably catch some things that I won't. But I'll dig into it, and maybe we'll either do a podcast on it and talk about some of that, or we might do a separate episode, something so people don't have to listen to it if they don't want to hear about boring financial stuff that I find fascinating.
Force it upon them by listening on the podcast.
That podcast has one listen for 5 minutes. They're like, oh, we're talking money in. Like, oh.
And I'm gone.
Yeah.
Well, if you've made it this far in the podcast, then you are probably the people that this video is.
That would
this directed at. But
so, anything else you want to chat about?
No, I mean, we're gonna put out some more videos this week. Some more sorcery gameplay. Another market update. What else do we want to do?
Yep. I'm going to crack some Crucible this week, so you won't have to look at me sorting cards.
Crucible Unlimited or Crucible First?
Yeah. Unlimited. Okay. Yeah. I'm not getting spicy right now. You seen the market?
No.
It's ridiculous. It's not doing great. It's very, very quiet. A lot of cooling off
crabs
across the board.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, well, that's it for me. I don't have anything else I need to go over. Played a lot of Flesh and Blood. We did the Sealed, we did the Draft, we did a Blitz night.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
And then we did the at in person Sealed Ultimate Pit Fight thing.
Yeah, it was fun.
A lot of good games, and then Sorcery in there as well, which has been fun as well.
Limited is really growing on me.
I love Limited. Yeah. I hate Sealed. I love Draft.
Yeah.
I love Draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got second place at our draft. It was only 2 new players there, and then 2, I guess, close to new, and then 8 total. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I felt real good about that because I played Ninja, which I don't think is the easiest thing to draft, from what I understand.
No.
And I got second place, and I almost won. Like it was literally he kills me or I kill him.
That's awesome.
It was 2-1 against a guardian of all things, and a player that plays guardian and is really good. I was so nervous, my hands. I was like sweating. I was like, man, this is so intense. Like, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Gotta go wipe my hands off.
I was just like, oh man. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I love doing that. And yeah, I
well, this week's draft again, so we'll be drafting on Thursday.
Yeah.
What we're drafting, I don't know. So
yeah.
Back to Tails.
Yeah, probably. I just have so many Tails cards.
If you come, it'll be Tails. If you don't come, it'll be like Monarch or something.
Which I've never drafted in.
I know, neither have I.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'll probably go anyways, just to be there and have some fun.
It'll be fun. Cool. Well, until next time, thank you for joining us, and enjoy the day.
Yeah, click that subscribe button.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.